We're watching a live day with Casper today. So today we're going to be just loading up the standard press. I'm just going to shove three boards in there. Real quick before we get started here, I'm going to show you guys some of the shop here, so later in the live you can either scroll back, or if you're watching this later after the live, thank you. Real quickly, I'm going to share this to a couple other platforms. I'll be right back. Facebook. Now we're going to go for sharing it on Instagram. And we're back. So, if you're unfamiliar with what happens here, my name is Casper Jones and I handcraft skateboards here at Life Skateboards. We do everything in-house. We roll the glue by hand. We press the boards here. 24 hours in the press, 7-day cure time. Today we're just going to be loading up the presses. So you guys are going to see 3 boards get glued up and 3 boards go in the press. Most of the time you guys see me shape boards in this room. What you see on the wall, these are all templates for all the shapes, and everything is available at lifeskateboard.com. Not feeling 100% today, so it's going to be a bit of a short live. We already got everything ready today. I pulled out the boards that were in the press. The boards go in the press and they're under pressure for 24 hours. And then we pull them out and put them into stacks so they're unconcave for 7 days. But all right, so we're gonna get started here working. Ooh. And to start, since it is gonna be a short live, I'll take the time to start going over some of the things that I don't usually have time to go over. Sorry about that, the live froze up on me. All right, so what's inside of your skateboard? So a standard skateboard has 7 plies of maple, specifically the Great Lakes or Canadian maple. You want something with long winters and slow growth to give it tight grains. So you're gonna have 7 plies in here. There's 2 different angles of the grains. You've got a vertical grain and a horizontal grain called a crossband. Your vertical grain, you've got a face, which is a pretty vertical grain without any blemishes that goes on the outside of the board. And then a core, another vertical grain, doesn't have to be as pretty, it can have some blemishes. And then your crossband. So the order of those boards are face, core, crossband, core, crossband, core, and face. And that comes together to make your skateboard. Here at Life Skateboards, you can get a 7-ply, 6-ply, 8-ply, whatever you want. Just go to lifeskateboard.com and get exactly what you want. I'm gonna move you guys over here and I'm gonna get to hand rolling the glue. Is one of the many things that sets us apart from factory boards, is hand rolling the glue. Thank you, Tina, I appreciate you. It's really easy to make those off these lives. We hand roll the glue here at Life Skateboards. The reason for that is we want to make sure that we give you full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside of your skateboard. That way we can guarantee against delam. Glue machine's going to miss your top and bottom ply, and we don't want to do that. So we just roll it by hand. Give you full glue coverage, and our boards don't delam. The other things that set us apart are going to be your long press and cure times. You got 24 hours in the press, 7 days curing before the shape is cut out. We also make boards to order. So when you get a board from us, you're telling us what to make for you, not picking something out that's sitting on a warehouse shelf. So if you want to do that, go to lifeskateboard.com and check it out. Oh, thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna level with you guys. I had a very stupid moment this last week. I haven't been able to skate since Saturday. I used a bug bomb and didn't properly ventilate the area, so my balance is a little off, and that's part of the reason why I haven't been hopping on these lives very often. Wow, thank you. Well, Aspen. So, you didn't know this because I didn't say this because I'm a little out of it, but whenever we're gluing up boards here, if somebody buys a Super and puts a note on there, I put the note in the board. So give me 1 second here. Is there a Sharpie in there, ma'am? There's not. What was that name? We got Aspen. Aspen Rocks. There you go. Thank you so much, Aspen. Threw that in the board there. So it's going to go inside the skateboard. You know, the person watching knows. We're the only ones that know. But here at Life Skateboards, we apply our graphics with hand-carved lino blocks. If you go on the website, you can see all of our graphics. The reason we do that is the majority of the industry uses a heat transfer, and while that's a super easy way to transfer graphics onto skateboards, heat, glue, and wood do not mix. So we don't want to pass that damage on to the customer, so we do that. So we don't do full custom graphics. We can combine some of our graphics to give you unique options, but we use the same blocks. Honestly surprised I was able to go live Monday without how out of it I've been. Thanks, Adrian. Oh, and Rita. Sharma. I'm just going to call you Sharma. Sorry. All right, so once the 7 layers of maple are all glued up, I'll angle you guys over here. So after it's all glued up, make sure it's all aligned. I'm going to tape up the ends so that when it goes in the press, it doesn't slide around. Do not like that roll of tape. If you're not new to my lives, you know that I have a lot of trouble with the tape every single day. Gotta get this one ready. Sorry, guys. All right. So we're gonna set that one aside, and then gonna do 2 more before we load them all into the press. So if you missed it before, inside your skateboard you got 7 layers of maple. You got a face, core, crossband, core, and face. Ooh. Thanks, Calvo. I like it too. Trade that one out. I didn't notice that when I was making the layup. If you'd like to get one of these boards, you should check out lifeskateboard.com. We actually dropped a new website recently that makes it a little bit more easy to get exactly what you want. And if you go to lifeskateboard.com and use the search function and look up Casper, you'll find my signature shape, which I absolutely love and highly recommend. But we've got tons of shapes on there. Popsicles, we've even got longboards. Popsicles are 75, and then shapes go up from there. So you're going to be going through hundreds and hundreds of options when you get to lifeskateboard.com. If you're new to skateboarding and you need yourself a complete, what's really cool is on our website there's an option that says Make My Life Complete. We finish out the board with all of the parts that you need. So you don't even have to think about it. We got you. And we'll help you out. Well, Tina, 725 or 775? 725. Ooh. So we can make that for you. You'll just have to contact my boss. That would be Sam through the Life Skateboards Instagram. And if you plan on consistently getting that, just let us know. Make sure to make a template. That way you can get it whenever. Well, we can. I don't mind you skating bigger skateboards. That makes me happy, to be honest. But even if we don't like it, we're gonna make what the customer wants. 725 is kind of crazy, but I mean, to each their own. Or you could just go with the biggest board we make, which is a 14.5. 8.0. We make 8s. We've got several shapes in an 8. The small twin is a fun option. It's actually an 8.1, but right at the truck bed it drops down to 8. It's definitely a stick. Absolutely. These were all trees once, and what is a tree but a big stick? Ooh. And if you didn't know, we do absolutely everything in-house here, so you're kind of seeing the first step of the process. Then the boards go in the press for 24 hours, cure for 7 days, and then the shape gets cut out. When we're done press, sorry about that. As I said, I kind of poisoned myself this last weekend, so sorry that we're going to have a short live, but I'm pretty impressed that I've made it this far, to be quite honest with all you guys. What's wrong with a smaller board? I don't know. Big boards are fun. I like big boards. It's just a personal thing. That's the cool thing about skateboarding. I can't tell you what to like. I can tell you what's, objectively good as far as quality of a board, but as far as the features of that board, I can't really tell you what's good for you. Give me a 725. I bet I can triple flip real quick, but I don't know. It wouldn't be fun for me, personally. Having some tape issues over here. Sorry, guys. So like I said before, we pull this over here, tape up either end of it so that when it goes in the press, it doesn't slide around. I always have difficulty with the tape every day, every live. No, so the glue's not gonna bother my hands, and it'll come off with the orange cleaner. It's not toxic or anything. It's type on too. Sometimes I'll wear the gloves to keep my hands clean. Sometimes I don't care, like today. So, but for the rest of the process, I don't wear gloves because sanding with gloves is actually more dangerous than sanding without. And running my hand along the side of the board is another step of quality control, feeling for any types of inconsistencies and things like that. Good questions, though. I don't think I was in a lie where the tape didn't give you issues. Did I miss something there? I think I missed something, Joseph. The tape always gives me issues every day. Yeah, we're all a little bit stubborn, but I can always say, hey, you might have never tried a big board with good concave, so maybe you should try one of our boards. We got Mr. Bird Dog here with the super, super unoriginal, strange attempt at humor, I think. Listen, but if you want to try to be funny in here, try to be actually funny. It's pretty silly. Every single person that's white with a face tattoo must be Post Malone, right? Haha. I don't know the process of arbor boards, to be honest with you. It depends on how they apply their graphics, how they glue their boards, their concave, lots of things that go into that. Another thing to look into when you're asking about brands is, does the brand make their own product? Because the majority of the industry is made from the same wood shops. We are kind of an anomaly here, making our own boards. But you're asking good questions. Yeah, the single kick shapes were, they're all right. But what we can do here, because all of our molds are symmetrical double kicks, what we can do is just cut your nose off, and then you've got a single kick. A couple of our shapes that are like that would be probably like the boar or the boar would be a good example of that. If you go on the Life Skateboards website and look at the boar, maybe even the piglet's a good example of that. How much do we sell them for? So they're all different prices depending on the shape and how you customize them. But a popsicle uncustomized, and by uncustomized I mean like you didn't add any plies to it, you didn't want a collage graphic, you didn't want wheel wells, stuff like that, is going to be $75, and that also includes the graphic. And then shapes go up from there. Like I said, if you want to double check prices, just go to lifeskateboard.com. Super easy to navigate. It is easy to make a board expensive as well with all the customization options that we have, but you don't have to use all those customization options. They're just pretty cool. I'll show you guys some wheel wells in a little bit here. Get this glue out of here. Good to go. Ivan said, how do you not ruin your clothes with that glue? Well, you see, there's this cool thing about my life, or every part of my life is skateboarding. So I don't really mind having, you know, glue all over my clothes. It is what it is. I am a board maker. Oh, not really something I've ever really cared about. A lot of my clothes have a little line from the table on all of them. It is what it is. You know it, Ivan. I pretty much don't wear something that I can't just up and go skating in. How many layers per board? So standard is 7 plies of maple. You've got 2 crossbands and 4 vertical grains, 2 of which are faces. And I just glued up the last one, so I can't show you all 7 pieces, but if you scroll back in the live, you might be able to catch that. I did that right off the bat and showed all of the plies in detail. At the moment here, I am just taping up the ends of these. Hi there, Lil Wayne. Sorry, no, this is not a Temu sweatshop. If you go on Temu, you can find boards made in sweatshops, but this shop is in New Palestine, Indiana, 20 minutes east of Indianapolis, where we handcraft high-quality handcrafted skateboard decks. A little bit of tape, a little bit of tape failure there. All right, so now we're gonna load 3 of these into the mold here and keep moving. How many boards do we press at once? A maximum in each mold is gonna be 3. We usually put 2 in each mold, and we can put 2 molds on the press. So that'll be 4 in each press at a time. We usually have 3 presses going at a time. Today I'm gonna be loading 3 into here. First thing we do is load a plastic separator into here. This keeps the glue off of the press itself, obviously not perfectly, these colorful icicles. But then they also keep the boards separate from each other. Alignment is extremely important on this step of the process. If the boards aren't aligned properly here, they're donezo. We're not going to cut them into anything, because they won't, their concave will be twisted. Board warped out of the press isn't good. Alright, gonna throw another separator in there, throw this one in, and then we've got one more to fit on top of that, and then we will raise these presses up. Now we use 2 20-ton jacks here, and we had pneumatic jacks hooked up before we moved the shop, but we have not switched the compressor into this room. So a little bit of extra work, same end result, fine by us. Double checking the alignment here. Good to go. All right, we got one more to fit in there. And then we will raise these up and you guys will watch for some squeeze out. Squeeze out is the excess glue squeezing out of the side of the press. Usually not a lot of it. Alrighty, so we got all three aligned right there. I'm gonna make sure these jacks are tightened down and centered. And we are going to raise these jacks up here. Will they all be identical? Yes. So all the boards when they come out of the press are going to be identical concaves. We have a mellow concave in this size. We also have a 12-inch press and another 12-inch press with kicks farther apart from each other, and a 14 6-inch press. Now they're identical when they're pressed, but, and I'll show you this in just a second, we are known for our options on shapes. So we've got tons and tons of shapes. All of these are going to be ending up, all these are going to end up looking different once they're cut out. Once again, like I said, little extra work, same end result, so. I have never heard that, Mandy. No. I'm Hulu. That's weird. My dad owns Nintendo. I want to jump in it is a ton of jacking, you're right. So, like I said, we usually fit 2 in each of these. I'm just putting 3 in today. What I should have done before this, and what I probably would have done if I wasn't on a live, is let one of these jacks go up. There's a screw on here to extend it. Extended that, made this a little less work on me, but this is what we're doing. All right. And we are good to go. Hi there, CB. So we already covered that. Yes, we used to have pneumatic jacks hooked up to there. We used to have the shop up in Muncie, Indiana. When we moved the shop, compressor is over there. Pressing room is over there. We just haven't hooked everything up yet. Little extra work, same results. Still got to get the boards out to customers. So here's the room where all the shaping happens in. Right here. And I don't mind covering stuff over and over again. The audience changes on a regular basis, and I'm sorry if I repeat stuff. It is what it is. I just really like telling people about the information. You're from Winchester? No way. The guy that used to make these boards lives in Winchester now. The guy that made me aware of this company. No, so this is small batch making right here. This is called a craft board. We're very different than factory boards. That was a Bryce. It was Bryce Miller. Dang, Chester. So Chester, if you'd like to know, this is not the Temu shop. This is Life Skateboards. So as you can see, these are all templates on the walls here from shapes that customers want. These are boards that are going to get cut into shapes next. These are all finished boards right here. These are better than everything that's on your skate shop wall, Chester. So it seems that Chester really prefers child labor. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to have to end this here. Thinner boards for flipping faster. Not really. Thin, you can always get stronger. Weight's not really an issue, but you can get a 6-ply from us. We do 7.9. We do everything. Check out lifeskateboard.com. That's going to be lifeskateboard.com. Check that out. I'm about to end the live, so go ahead and subscribe for me so you can catch me working live. I usually do these for a lot longer. I'm not feeling the best today. So thank you guys. But go to lifeskateboard.com, check out what we got. There's lots of options, lots of wheelbases. If there's something that that's close to what you want, but not exactly, contact my boss through the Life Skateboards Instagram. That's the Life Skateboards 1010. And go watch some videos on my channel for me. Help me out. I have a contest that I'm hosting this weekend at Lawrence Skate Park. Hopefully I'll be able to catch that live. I'm not really sure. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be cold. And I'm going to make people do lots of cool tricks for lots of money and lots of prizes. So check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. And go get a life, because then you get to see me working and you help me pay my bills. Love you guys. Thanks for the support.